In the same place you buy your groceries, you can also buy ammunition for a gun. It's as simple as this. Choose your ammo and scan your ID. Next, customers will use the AI facial recognition to verify they're the person they claim to be.
Legally, we're required to make sure that someone's of legal age in order to use the machine or to purchase ammunition.
Oh, yeah! Good morning and welcome to episode 1496 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, July 8th, 2024, and it might be 1497. I'm not sure. I didn't update the sheet all the way. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor for more. Join us over there in our community like John, Billy, Luther, and Zach did this weekend. Growing all the time. Fantastic stuff. Bonus podcasts, Discord chat access. Join us. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. Today, we're talking a little bit of ancient history that came along with some of the trending news from this weekend. Glad that we have archaeologist Mark here to help us analyze all that. Because
Mark.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at a little dusty.
We're gonna get real dusty, real sunburned.
Take us back, Mark.
Yeah, I think it is 1497, Will, because we had listeners point out in classic Hard Factor fashion that this Thursday night, I guess maybe Friday's show, but Thursday is going to be episode 1500. So
there you go.
Classic. We almost missed it ourselves. 1500.
And, Mark, I know you know this, but the Cornish Rebellion took place in 1497. The uprising in the Kingdom of England, which began in Cornwall and culminated with the Battle of Deptford Bridge near London.
The unforgettable.
You don't have to tell me.
1497.
Yeah.
So archaeologist Mark has been to that dig site, I can guarantee.
Of course.
Mark. We're going to go to a few more dig sites today, Mark. Also, with Mark, we'll be talking about horrible middle schoolers. So,
yeah, these kids should be sent to a desert to do some labor.
Maybe they could work on one of your digs.
Yeah, put the kids to work.
Yeah.
Don't come back to the tent till you find a coprolite fossilized shit or something. You know,
free minor labor.
Yeah,
for Mark. I like it. And then we're also talking about ammo vending machines with Pat.
Whoa. That's just what it is, man. And it's like an Onion article, but it's real and it's here.
Yep.
And you can guess which states it's in.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you can, Pat. I saw this one and I knew it had you written all over it. I love the other wrinkle that you'll learn about when he tells you about it. So not just vending machines and ammo. There's a third, potentially more terrifying entity involved with
big time.
Ammo
we might get sued, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting sued by the ammo vending machine guys is a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mark.
I'm gonna change my name.
They collect lawsuits like
yeah. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of inbound lawsuits. So
right. Collecting them like Pokemon cards.
Let them bounce one back since they're gonna get so many themselves. Let them have one. We'll give them one.
Let them get a ricochet shot.
Yeah.
And takes by Trev. Great point here by him in the live chat. He says, "Thank you guys for putting out pods last week. Got me through the grind." No problem, Trev. That's the difference here at Hard Factor. Okay, we put out fresh content for you all week, even on the week before the July. How do we do it? Nobody knows, but we still
We're
do.
Blue collar pod of elitists.
That's right.
I'll tell you how blue collar we are. Wes and I had a breakfast at the most blue collar place in Austin with Takes by Trev while he was rolling through because he's, I believe, like a truck driver. So
That's what I'm talking about.
Blue collar guys with soft hands.
There you go.
That's
nose
us.
to the grindstone, nonetheless, with our soft hands, supporting us.
Right, I mean, they're medium soft. We've all done one or two hard jobs. But
yeah.
These are hands fast. Like these, I've picked up a trillion shits with these hands.
Yeah. Wes delivered drywall for 2 summers.
Yeah.
I've started getting some PS5 calluses, if that counts.
That does count. You don't want to tell them what you don't need to tell people what the calluses are for. Just so you have it.
It's because you're a gamer. You're always down to game.
Do you know what weapon I had to get for this? How many treasure runs I had to go on?
I'm grinding to get these calluses.
Let's do the news. It's been a long time since a couple days since we've done the news. We did put out the shows, but we're back with new news again. Do you guys remember giving any teachers a hard time when we were in middle school? We were all in middle school together. We went to middle school together. Maybe like pranking teachers. Middle school is one of the top times for
I
giving
think
teachers
about it
shit.
all the time. I think about it all the time and how horrible it is to be a public school teacher.
Yeah.
Dealing with problem children, not getting paid enough. I was assigned a guidance counselor. I didn't ask to go to the guidance counselor, but one day the guidance counselor came and got me and said, "Hi, I'm yours." And we had to do that weekly.
Break the students or the teachers? They've got to be pretty happy to get away from those little shits.
Big time.
So
It's tough.
Yeah. Our favorite teacher in 8th grade, English teacher, we got him a few times, like when he stupidly took our class to the library for a tour or some shit like that. And we were like, oh, yeah, we know what the library is, dude. So we bailed on that lame ass tour, snuck out, recruited one of our most delinquent friends who happened to be just, of course, roaming the halls during class. So we're like, let's get Danny on board. And then we
walk out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in. We're like, we're going to go fuck up our classroom. We're doing a library tour. He's like, excellent. So we went in and flipped every single piece of, every desk, every chair, every piece of furniture, and then wrote, Mr. Lecky's wife is hot on the chalkboard, which was true.
Right. He had to pretend he was upset by it, but ultimately was fired up. Do you remember what it was? This is what's so great. I have no idea what the protest was about. But there was
had 5 walkouts.
Oh,
it was more than that. The fire alarm got pulled like 7 times that day.
Yeah. The walkouts we had, I never understood them, but
something related
always
to backpacks.
participated. Very fun. Yeah. Backpacks. That's right. Something about backpacks.
One of your brother's friends led a couple of those walkouts that we saw recently, Pat, at your dad's funeral.
Oh, he was a real bastard, that guy.
King. Yeah.
He ran away from the police in handcuffs and got away. You can't. I mean, that's a level of badassery.
He was always leading the walkout.
He's very fast. Yeah,
he was. But yeah, then we like snuck back into the library tour. Like we were there the whole time, and we acted as shocked as everyone, probably more shocked when we came in and the classroom was upside down. We're like, who could have done this? But that was good, clean fun, right? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, his wife was hot.
I took
kids
a
are gonna
shit
goof around. Boys will be boys.
On the floor of the women's bathroom after school during a basketball game for no reason other than I thought it'd be hilarious.
That is funny.
Yeah. No,
I don't know if I'd call that clean fun, but that's.
I was solo, and someone had to clean it up.
Did anyone encourage you, or did you? That was
no, just me. I mean, I would literally order things out of catalogs.
Well, that's why you got the counselor.
To fuck the school up. Yep, that's part of the way.
That is it's starting that up. But I don't think we took things too far there. Some people might say we did. I think it was just right on the line, good, clean fun. Only took a few minutes to reverse that. However, what the kids at Great Valley Middle School in the Malvern and other surrounding communities in Chester County, Pennsylvania did was took things too far. Everyone can agree that creating fake TikTok accounts posing as your teachers and then having those fake accounts post homophobic, racist, and sometimes pedophilia-laced rants is crossing the line.
Is it? But it's parody law. Is that covered by parody law? I feel like that's...
We're going to get to that. Well, you're onto something because I'm going to really give these kids some shit because they deserve it. But had they said not teacher so-and-so or this is a parody account, it probably would have been funny, but they didn't. They actually just 100% posed as the teachers on
right.
The teachers didn't know, and they put real pictures of the teachers up, and they were like, "I am
much
this
funnier.
I am this teacher, and I'm a pedophile."
Much funnier. Yeah,
gay Mr. Greg.
Yeah,
funnier that way. Yeah, I could imagine doing that if I was a kid.
I don't think I'd be doing this story if they had just gone with the parody route. They were close.
No, yeah, I remember reading a story about this years ago.
It's still parody,
and they got away with a parody, I believe, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like set up. It was like this teacher's an idiot. Not saying, like,
yeah. The New York Times broke this story, and it has happened in the past to a specific principal or specific teacher, but this is the first time ever that it's been a group of students attacking a group of teachers. They got 22 of the 80 faculty. They basically got them all. Yeah. Like what they did to longtime Spanish teacher, Patrice Motz. Motz was informed by another teacher that a fake TikTok account, her name was making waves in the community, and that quote, trouble was brewing in town back in February of this year when then Motz went on to TikTok for the first time in her life to verify an account named Patrice.Motz with a picture of her as the profile pic, and a recent post of her and her family at the beach caption, "Do you like to touch kids?" ? And then she answered her own question, C. So it was, yes, she does. And here's my whole family, including the kids.
I mean, that's very funny, except for Miss Motz could have said, "These are bots. I'm Miss Motz."
Yeah.
But no, that she doesn't make enough money for that.
Yeah, it could have been at Patrice.Motz AI or at Patrice.Motz parody. Again, they missed the one crucial step, in my opinion. She said it was so deflating. She's taught at the school for 14 years, and she can't believe she has to still wake up every morning and teach these fuckers.
Jeez, dude.
Dude, this is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, yeah, sure, learn the lesson to put the parody tag on there, but I mean, if you could do this to your teachers back when I was in school, 100% we would have been doing this. 100%.
Do you like to touch kids like Mrs. Motz does?
Dude, we would have been doing this to all the teachers that didn't have social media accounts.
And we had a layup because our assistant principal's last name was Lester.
Yeah, Mo Lester. I mean, it was
yeah,
slam dunk. And then
Lester the molester, we called him.
Yeah, I mean, they're too easy. I mean, so if you had social media with like blank slate accounts to work with, I mean, it would just be, it's all over. These kids, while they are going to get in trouble,
that's what the kids are saying. Will, they're saying it's a joke.
It was bound to happen at some point. It is a joke, and it was bound to happen at some point.
The post included racist memes coming from what was being represented as the teachers' accounts, fake hookups framing them for hooking up with people not their spouses, so cheating, homophobic rants, you name it. They really wanted to humiliate the people educating their punk little asses. 2 female 7th grader students did post. A lot of these were almost all of them were female students, like young 7th and 8th grade students, the girls. 2 female.
It was all girls that ran it.
Mostly girls in this county are. These girls were so bad. These 8th grade girls were so bad. They were pulling hair out of each other's, fighting each other at the football games. They got into so many fights, and so many ambulances were called that they instituted a new rule in this county that I found online, where no like minors allowed to go to any sporting event without like a parent or guardian, like 1-to-1 almost, because
with hair
girls,
extensions in.
Yeah, exactly. These girls are so fucking shitty.
Hold on though, like.
Apparently it's go ahead.
I'm gonna give some initials. Okay, there was a girl we went to middle school with, didn't make it to high school. Her initials were SH. She was very bad. She was the type of girl that at the Herndon Festival or in the hallways would rip hair out. I couldn't imagine SH also having the wherewithal and the intellectual ability to then go on the internet and have some tech ability to create
computer literate.
Like that's a well thought out joke.
Well, also,
like
Pat, this is nerds and bullies linking up to get the teachers. They're combined.
Okay, so like the girls who are beating other girls are like they're standing behind the nerds.
Yeah, common enemies. The teacher. They're bonding. These groups so 2 female 7th grade students did post an apology from one of the fake teachers' accounts, like well after they were all caught and like suspended, saying they never meant for things to go so far. They definitely didn't want to get suspended. And then the one saying, "Move on, learn to joke. I'm 13 years old for fuck's sake, and you're like 40 going on 50."
Okay,
that's a real comment.
Yeah,
she didn't.
That girl's parents need to pull her ass the fuck away from the keyboard.
Yeah,
the towns have been described as like a QAnon haven. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of research, but they're like affluent towns. And
which town is it?
It's Chester County. Burn this town to the ground and send every parent to jail. This place is worse than like a town of spiders
in Pennsylvania.
Yes, Chester County.
Okay, yeah, so it's where Westchester is. It's a very nice area.
Yeah, it's a wealthy area, and these kids are just little shits. Yeah,
Bam Margera's from there. I mean, this adds up. Look, I'm not going to go that far because if we had this shit when I was a kid, I guarantee you we would have made at least one account and done this shit.
We probably would have, but we didn't. Students at this middle school from Heller, from Malvern,
we didn't exist in this era.
Charlestown, true, East Whiteland, and Willistown townships. So those are the places to not raise a family if you're looking to move. Here's one of the teachers, a social studies teacher named Sean Whitelock, and that was he was being impersonated. This is a picture of him being photographed contemplating suicide.
He's turned away from the camera.
How did they get that photo of Sean? First of all,
then that's a New York Times pic, probably.
Yeah. Yep. Here's another one. Here's the teacher.
The Times was like, Sean, look at the tree, like you're gonna kill.
No, Sean was like, don't photograph my face.
Yes. Here's another one. Here's the Spanish teacher, Miss Mott's, doing the same thing. As you can see, they're so fucked up from this, they can only face away from the camera during
staring at a wall because they got roasted by some 14-year-olds.
You'll never see their faces again unless it's on a fake TikTok account, which it is. I think that was the joke. That was like the theme of the article, was like, we don't want to show our faces anymore. The school took down all pictures of the teachers on their website and all these things, like
making a real statement. Cool.
Yeah. Turning away from the camera.
It is an issue. I mean, I know we covered the story, but that lawyer went to Madison Square Garden 2 years ago. I think it was for Billy Joel, to go see a concert. And she walks in the door with her homies, and they're like, "You lady, GTFO." And she was like, "What?" And they're like, "You're not allowed on the premises." It turns out she worked for a law firm that was representing someone who was suing MSG. They used their facial recognition technology, and they ingested all of the, if you go to any law firm, every lawyer, most professionals, but law firms especially, they have, their biophoto.
Right.
Yeah.
So they ingested the entire law firm's biophotos, and then anyone from the law firm that tried to set foot on the premises, because the dude that owns MSG is petty as fuck, bounced.
Yeah.
It's a liability
That,
to have a photo up on the website.
Well, now the teachers are saying, I mean, because they have like laptops and like iPads, and all the students have like technology in the class, they're scared that the kids are taking videos of them and stuff now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Two of the male teachers, they photoshopped.
The lives are under threat, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Two of the male teachers, they photoshopped to be in bed together naked.
Dude.
God.
I mean, the sad thing is, this is girls, right? So
mostly girls.
The Times just did a huge expose into AI porn and how it's fucking girls up in high school. Like, girls are getting ruined in high school because dudes are making great deep fakes of them naked and then passing them around. You'd think,
but sadly,
I mean, they're so vulnerable. You'd think that they'd be thinking about that and not do it to their teachers, but
I mean, it's if they
it's a cycle of violence, Pat. Maybe that got done to them, and now they're doing this to the teachers instead of getting back at the guys like they should have.
I went through an initial cycle of rage when doing this article, and then I realized, had they just done parody, I started cracking up. Like it's so close to being it's dangerous, but it's close to being funny.
You can't
I know it's damaging.
It's
damaging to these teachers for sure. But if it had been clearly parody, anyways, one teacher's wife's face was replaced with the students in a wedding photo they found of them.
Brutal. And it was like a class pet too, and that made that teacher sweat. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's a crime, allegedly. It is. It sounds.
They don't know what to do with them. The school has no idea what to do. They suspend.
It honestly probably isn't a crime because it hasn't been done before.
Right.
I think that they should now maybe figure out what to do with these kids. But
isn't that like
kind of
in some
it's a
way
prank that I know we would have done if we were alive today. Like if I was,
think we would have done to like Mr. Leckie and been like, his wife's hot, but I don't think we would have done the pedophilia stuff. I mean, that's just a little too far.
Well, isn't it?
We would have done it to 22 teachers, but we would have picked out one teacher to fuck with.
That's the deepest cut you can strike, is the pedophilia, but it's got to be in some way, shape, or form defamation, right?
I would imagine. Yeah, they don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Not necessarily. They found this back in February, and the school has kind of been mum. They released a statement being like, "It's disgusting what happened. We're working on it," but like, it's been like. This story just came out, but they caught it back in February, and they found the 22 accounts back in like February, March. So some of the kids were suspended. None of them were like expelled. And I don't know, I don't think anything's going to really happen.
It amounts to basically a prank, but it points out an issue that's going to keep happening.
After this New York Times article, what's going to happen is it's going to happen more at different schools.
Oh yeah.
It's already happening, dude.
Yeah. No, this is the first time at this scale that it was found out. Yeah.
Right, 22 out of 80 teachers. That's the first time that most of the staff has gotten it. But I guarantee you, single teachers have been getting this since like MySpace days.
It would usually be like a vice principal, Mr. Molester, that you just get the one most. Yeah.
I mean, let's put it in context. This is the equivalent of like next level photoshopping and printing and distributing like a newspaper, a 10,000 circulation newspaper in the town 20 years ago. That's what this is.
That's the other point I was thinking. Like if they purposely
but I mean, it's so much more accessible now. It's not really.
No, I just mean like, what would the equivalent be? Like that would be so much worse if you printed up 20,000 newspapers and with like great Photoshop work and distributed them around town.
Yeah, like how many followers did these accounts have?
Yeah, but everybody knows that these are fake. When there's 22 at the same school and they're all posting "I love touching kids," everybody knows that they're fake accounts at that point right off the bat. So it's like.
And I was also thinking, you mentioned Photoshop? I was like, what if they purposely did kind of a shitty Photoshop job that would also kind of like, show that it's fake? Like if they did
AI's too good, man.
Yeah.
22 teachers out of 80 posting all this crazy shit. I mean,
that would be bad luck
from the start.
Yeah.
Right. It was obviously fake from the
school
start.
Districts.
And then, I mean, these girls, evil geniuses.
Honey, so I think we picked the wrong school. I gotta be honest. There's a conspiracy going on here.
So there's a bunch of angry teachers in that town.
A lot of this furniture is from Wayfair at the school.
Next school year should be interesting when they come back to work.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I hear Bam might do some commentating. This is his next thing. So.
Oh no, he's talking to bare knuckle fighting. He wants to get into bare knuckle fighting.
That's good for Westchester.
Yeah.
He's just ripping on. He's just ripping on Jeff Tremaine in interviews right now, like calling him a fucking pussy, the director of Jackass. And
if you think Bam Margera is not going to drop a few hard Fs once he gets on the air, you are sorely mistaken.
Yeah.
he's going to go all out. He's going to drop all the hard ones.
That word, those words never left his repertoire. The R word. Yeah.
He's going to shock some people once he gets behind the booth.
So that counted.
All right. Ancient history, guys. We had some in the trending news this weekend. I'm going to go newest to oldest ancient history. Okay. First up, French president with an ancient wife. That's how he shoehorned his way in here. Emmanuel Macron has held on to not lose to Le Pen in snap French elections. He sold out his party in parliament to the far left socialists who won the election in order to retain, I guess, his prime ministership.
Wow, he was right to do the snap election then. That's crazy.
He was right. And in the end, I guess the French people weren't really that mad, even though they were shitting in the rivers and everything with all the protests, because Macron wins, he stays in charge. Over in England, they really are mad because Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives all got swept out of office for the Labour Party members in their snap elections. So Macron, with people shitting in the river, survives his snap elections. Sunak calls his in England, gets fucking destroyed. So
yeah. Wow. Yeah, the Labour Party whooped their ass. Yeah.
Yes, they really did. And Macron's wife is notably ancient. Trending news from last week, which may as well be ancient in 2024. The report of Zelensky's wife buying a Bugatti in France that trended like top 5 on Twitter. We mentioned on the podcast last week. It was complete with a video news report and a Bugatti receipt. Turned out to be a French deepfake paid for by the Russian disinformation.
Okay, that makes sense, because that would have been crazy to post that. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, right. It was presented as like a French media report. Turns out it was a Russian deepfake, like the completely AI video with faked receipt. Community notes a little late on correcting it too.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's.
I mean, the guy hasn't taken off his uniform since they started the war. That's them is divorcing grounds.
Right.
How serious
he has a couple sets of that in one outfit.
Why are you buying Bugatti?
I just mean a guy that's that dead serious. It's like, I'm rocking only fucking war gear until I'm done.
Yeah, he's begging for money, but he's letting his wife buy Bugattis.
Yeah.
No, it was a shocking report.
Yeah.
So shocking. It was fake, Russian created, apparently, but by somebody in France. Sticking in France this entire time. We're never leaving France until the very end.
Okay.
For a historical mystery, as their version of Excalibur, Durandal. It's a legendary blade, a sword right here. It was wielded by the fabled blade of Charlemagne's top knight, Roland. You can see Roland here just hacking people apart with Durandal.
Dude,
Right
he had
there.
like a Viking horn. He just rolls into town and blows on his horn and cuts your head off with Durandal.
Yeah. It's the French Excalibur, they say.
Whoa.
Yeah. Durandal, Charlemagne's top knight rolling. Anyways, it's hung in the rock wall.
Thing would break like the Maginot Line. Just saying.
I don't know, Pat. This is going
Sounds
to
like
be wrong a little bit here.
It sounds like a Tolkien sword. It sounds like a elven
It's
sword.
legendary.
Durandal.
It's actually, Pat, so hard and indestructible, allegedly, that it's hung in the rock wall over a French town called Roquemondour for 1,300 years until it was suddenly stolen over the 4th of July weekend.
Holy shit, dude.
So this sword has existed inside that crack in the rocks for 1,300 years. Legend has it that Roland, the knight, either sliced directly into the rock or he threw the magical and unbreakable blade. That's how they think it got in the rock, into the rock face as he was dying. So his enemies, the Saracens at the time, could not take it and use it against the Holy Roman Empire, Charlemagne's, shit. So Roland was like, not falling on the sword, but sacrificing the sword as he was dying.
Smart into the rock.
Right. Literally multiple Roman songs about the sword. So whoever climbed up the 100-foot rock face to snag this thing and unhook it from its chain probably got one of the coolest artifacts possible on planet Earth, outside of the real Excalibur, which probably doesn't exist. And so
I have a few suspects in mind.
Yeah, looking in the direction of drunk American tourists on the 4th of July.
I was thinking some of those 8th grade girls from Chester County, probably.
Could be. Or Bam Margera. Yeah. All people who get riled up on the 4th, ready to steal a sword potentially. Almost certainly, though, the sword was a clever idea from a local blacksmith all those years ago, right? Like somebody probably just put it in there as a decoration. But if not, and regardless of whether it was like a creation by
it's not a magical sword.
No, I don't think it is. But
okay,
whether it was like a smart creation by a local blacksmith at the time or it's the real thing, someone out there is the proud new owner of a potentially magical sword, potentially unbreakable sword. And I couldn't even find a value on it. But an Indian sword from the 1700s sold at nearly $18 million, $17.5 million at auction recently. And some katanas that have been crafted around the world are valued at $100 million. So Durandal may actually be priceless. Like, I don't know.
This is the Honus Wagner of swords. This is the one you want. Yeah.
You couldn't possibly make a more valuable sword, I wouldn't think, than this sword. So whoever fucking stole it is basically one of the biggest heists of all time, because this thing's what, 100 million plus probably value.
Easily.
I would imagine it would be more than the best katana.
The sword is in lore, right? Is the lore pre the blacksmith? Did the
it's exact same time. That's the thing, is the sword showed up. So either a clever blacksmith at the time of Roland's death came up with the idea to just put this thing in the rock and like claim it was from the Roland the Knight, or he actually threw the fucking thing and it's an unbreakable sword that can slash into a mountain.
It's one of the two. It should have been in the Louvre if it didn't want to get stolen.
Correct. They should have put a box around that.
Yeah.
I mean, as you could see, it was only chained to the rock face.
Yeah.
Very, very pathetic security on Durandal.
It's friggin' genius, though, marketing. Like,
the heist is genius, I would say. But yes, the marketing is genius.
What if the guy who
probably made it at the time? Yeah.
What if the guy who set this up, his company also did the heist to make it even more valuable?
What if it was the family of the blacksmith, generations and generations passed down the plan?
They keep doing this. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then now they'll sell the fake
for 500 million. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a pretty sweet story from antiquity that was trending over the weekend. And finally, in ancient history, Antarctic ice is melting today. We all know that, right? Like global warming, the ice is melting. We talk about it a lot.
Right.
Now, Antarctica, at least the western half of it, wasn't always ice. And we're finding that out now, weirdly, thanks to global warming, which has scientists examining why the ice on the western half of Antarctica is melting so much faster than the eastern half, right?
And that's the half that didn't always used to be ice, the same side that's melting?
Correct. The western half.
Something's going on in the western half.
Yeah. So new sediment samples reveal in fresh studies, it's because the ice over the western half of Antarctica is roughly
at least 7 million years younger than the ice on the eastern half of Antarctica. So not only is it going to melt faster naturally, it also means that stuff used to actually live down there, and like probably abundantly. And we're actually finding that out now for the first time in like 2020 through 2024. The ice in eastern Antarctica formed about 34 million years ago. That's the original Antarctic ice, but no guarantee now on how long western Antarctica has had ice over it, because they found out in a 2020 study that it was actually a dense broadleaf forest that existed on western Antarctica before it froze over. So that it was resistant to like ice formation. Think like the South Island of New Zealand, if you're trying to picture what the western half of Antarctica used to look like.
Sounds like it was beautiful.
Yeah, right. So maybe
magical.
It's a weird spin zone here, but maybe if we keep pumping record amounts of fuel and we burn enough of
We
it
could get that island back.
to fuel the AI data center power demand, which is higher than ever. It takes more than the entire power demand of Italy to power AI. So if maybe we keep pumping gas and burning up all the coal to power those AI servers, we could possibly bring the forests of western Antarctica back.
Can we get in on this early now that it's still iced by like Hive Island there cheap now?
There's the Antarctic Treaty of 1971, so nobody can buy it as of now. But once it all becomes available, Mark, and it's back to the broadleaf forest zone, I mean, the sky's the limit.
That's going to be prime real estate. Also, totally not going to unearth like some millions of old diseases and bacteria that's going to be harmful to humans.
It could.
No chance.
Dude, you know what I've been getting really into, though, in terms of AI, is there's such realistic renderings of what doomsday may look like or would have looked like when you look up like the meteor that hit the earth that wiped out the dinosaurs.
That's probably terrifying.
And dude, no, but it's a really soothing. I don't know why. It's just soothing to hear about
doomsday AI.
Well, mostly I'm in the dinosaur era, like to hear about like what that chain reaction was like. It's just something about it. It's just relaxing.
Do they play like the dinosaurs moaning?
Yeah, like a lot of time. Which is really just them just dragging school desks across the ground. That's how they get that noise of the T-Rex. But it's pretty man. AI can really freak you out.
Oh, it can do that for sure. Yeah. Now, it also demands a lot of power. So like I'm saying, if we just keep pumping that gas to keep powering those AI servers, like I'm saying, they already demand more than the entire country of Italy. If they could just keep pumping that power demand up, we keep pumping the gas to do it, we could potentially melt enough ice in Antarctica to get the entire broadleaf forest back.
We might lose Florida, but we get a new island.
Lose several countries.
Move everyone from the coast over there.
Might lose a lot of coastline, but you're going to get broadleaf forest back from under the ice eventually. You just keep making it melt. It's guaranteed. All
right.
Dude, I forget which one of the was it the Canary? Wasn't the Canary Islands? One of the islands that got hit by Beryl, 98% wiped out.
Grenada.
Yeah, well, speaking of, it did end up going to Houston in America too. So hopefully everybody.
Austin's getting it this week. Yeah, there was one. We were joking this weekend. There was like one spaghetti model that had it going to Houston, and we're joking. We're like, I mean, that's the one that's going to hit because Houston has.
I also joked when we first talked about it. I also joked when we first talked about it. Like, and you were like, that's almost impossible that it'll go there. It's like, well, if it does, they're just cursed.
No. Turns out, if there's even a slight chance it hits Houston, it hits Houston.
Yeah, dude. Petite Martinique, Curacao,
Grenada, Jamaica.
Yeah, fucked up,
destroyed.
Bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about it. 98% destroyed. Like, you're at the point where you're going to be questioning whether you rebuild because these storms are going to keep coming faster and more furious. And then I was thinking, like,
most people.
It might just get really fucking expensive to go there.
Some leave.
Like, oh, do you want to come enjoy the Caribbean islands? Well, you got to pay a tax, effectively.
A lot of the
rebuild
places,
tax.
A lot of the places survive pretty well, even with power, because this is not their first rodeo, and they've rebuilt before with stone buildings. So like it hit like one of the islands that hasn't done that. And now they're gonna have to do that. When I went to Dominican recently, and I was driving, like I had to go like an hour from the airport to where I was going, and it was just driving through like rubble because clearly Dominican had been hit by hurricanes before, and like they just didn't rebuild a lot of areas. So that's just kind of Caribbean kind of like, life. Yeah,
it's cyclical
constantly
all
rebuild.
Over the Gulf. Yeah. All over the Gulf. I mean, it's a pretty normal part of life that you're could get struck and might have to rebuild where you are or in the next neighborhood over or something, you know?
Yeah. In the Gulf, maybe, but it's like the same thing that's happening in California. Where like,
but it would be the same.
We're just not going to insure your houses anymore.
Oh yeah.
In the fire zones, yeah. I mean,
if
you're living up in the forests of California, yeah. I mean, it's a tough time.
All right. Well, guys, I wanted to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst part about ammunition for a gun?
It's hard to get. It's not in vending machines
when it's
That's
sold
right.
out.
It's the convenience.
Yeah,
at which you can get it. I find
right.
I can't even tell you how many times I've been like, I really want to go shoot something right now.
Yeah,
but damn, the gun store's far away, or the gun store's closed.
Or there's a pinch on ammo and that entire caliber's out because people have been waiting for the delivery each week and just like fucking unloading it. And like, it happens all the time.
Some psycho bought up all the ammo again. Now we can't.
All over the country, it happens constantly. Whenever there's a scare that they're going to stop selling ammunition, people will wait at the store and buy entire shipments of the entire caliber. And then you're fucked. If your store is one of these stores, then you're fucked for like months until that psycho's done buying up the entire inventory every time.
Right, like this post from American Rounds on Instagram. SHTF plan. Shit hits the fan plan, for you guys not in the know. Or self-defense. How much ammunition is actually enough? Comment back and let us know your thoughts.
Well, all answers to that post are fucking not. There's no amount.
It's that kind of attitude.
Well, it's got zero replies.
Zero replies. It creates runs on Amazon.
The first reply is going to say,
well, look, American Rounds happens to be the company that's putting ammunition vending machines in supermarkets in 4 states. Let's go to a local news clip to hear a little more.
I think it's convenient. They like
A grocery store buying ammunition recently got a little bit easier. WBTM 13's Emma Owen is reporting from inside the Fresh Value on 231. Now she explains buying ammo here is almost as easy as getting a pack of crackers or a soda.
In the same place you buy your groceries, you can also buy ammunition for a gun. It's as simple as this. Choose your ammo and scan your ID. Next, customers will use the AI facial recognition to verify they're the person they claim to be.
Legally, we're required to make sure that someone's of legal age in order to use the machine or to purchase ammunition. And past that, we want to make sure that they have a valid ID.
Lawrence Songer, COO of American Rounds, the company behind these vending machines, believes this is more secure than a real person checking for ID.
One thing that you don't get in traditional retailers when it comes to ID verification is, depending on the store employee, a lot of times a person's not carded to begin with. Or ask for their ID.
But the system isn't perfect. While Songer was trying to check out earlier, it wasn't recognizing that he was the same person who appeared on his ID. Even so, he says reaction to the machine has been mostly positive.
So the reviews and interactions we've had with customers think it's a good idea. They think it's convenient. They like the fact that it's here. Sales have been steady and strong at all the locations we've launched so far. And hopefully it just continues that trend.
While some are on board with the unique concept, others are a bit skeptical. I spoke with Barry Lilly after he finished shopping at the Fresh Value.
If you're a responsible person, you don't mind walking up to a counter and saying, hey, I need some 380 ammo or I need some 410 ammo. And if it takes you an extra second or two, so be it. You're dealing with something that can take someone's life. So I think that's not too much of a price to ask.
Lilly says he's all for the Second Amendment, but thinks this concept is a little carefree. Songer, though, saying the opposite.
It's convenient and it's safe and secure for the stores, so they don't have the worry of putting something out on their store shelves that someone could steal or they could be part of theft on and some type of crime or issue come up from that.
Now, this Pell City store is the first location where one of these machines was installed. It's been in use since November 2023, and right now they've expanded to 4 different states.
So
make money.
When I go to buy baby formula, it's behind a locked display.
Well, it depends on you're going to a low rent grocery store. I mean,
the other day,
that's when you know you got crime in your grocery stores.
Every time I purchase ammunition,
you can use an ammunition thing in there, Pat.
It's behind the fucking counter. But like, this is Coinstar for guns and ammunition, and I like how he's like, oh man, it makes the stores feel safer and more secure. Yeah, because the guy that just needs ammo so bad to load the pistol.
This is good news next to the Coinstar, because people still keeping change and changing it in for $30 can just blow their brains out now.
Yeah, that's true. Right next to each other.
Whoever's still using Coinstar can just kill two birds.
Or you could just, I guarantee I would use this thing if it was in my grocery store.
It's convenient. Yeah, I mean, if you want ammunition,
I would try it out 100%.
Yeah,
There's no way I would not try this out.
So here's what's interesting about it.
If you're a gun guy and you need ammo, I mean, there's worse ways.
I mean, it does take your ID. I know, Pat, you said that's a made up thing. Literally, some gun stores that are like, small time stuff, like they won't fucking card you for just ammo.
So, but what these guys are doing though, this is interesting. So they have a piece of AI software which didn't work in the demo for the CIO, but that facially recognizes you. Well, and compares it to the photograph on the identification. But that's it. I mean, like I made fake IDs that scan. So it's a nothing burger. I mean, I guess it's probably the same as someone checking your ID, maybe, probably. It's not so much that.
The fact it has to be scanned against the state register probably makes it slightly statistically.
There's no way they're giving them that data, though.
Yeah, how is this company gonna have that good of facial recognition? I'm sure their software is not that good. I think if you
recognize it based on your ID, so it's gonna run your ID.
But as long as you have the same, as long as you have the same color eyes, I think you're fine.
It has to get the data for the gun registry.
But
stuff, right?
It's not gonna know your height or weight or anything like that. It's gonna know what's it even looking for.
ID data, I guess.
Yeah, but what is the facial thing looking for? I'm thinking
it's
eyes.
Just checking your face.
Yeah. So if you look anything at all like an ID that you have, you could steal.
You could use an ID that's not you. Yeah.
Correct. You could steal someone's ID, and if you're
you could do that at a store.
If you're a human being, you can get the ammunition.
Right, at a store or at the kiosk. It doesn't.
I don't get it. I think it's like.
But the store guy might be able to tee off on the fact that you're clearly going to go on a shooting spree with a stolen ID versus the machine's going to be like, you're good to go.
I need ammo now.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I've gone shooting for sport, you know you're going shooting, you get fucking ammo. I could see some people.
Does the facial recognition on these things check for your anxiety level?
Right. Or how pissed off you are.
Yeah, does it look for rage in the face?
He's working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's ridiculous. This is America, and have a great fucking day.